Hey everyone, I'm going to do something today that's a little different. I'm going to actually try to teach you two different things at the same time. Kind of amazing. It's like I'm juggling content. But seriously, what I want to do is I want to teach you about what you need to see in order to reach your goals. There's something, the missing ingredient many times in accomplishing our goals, whatever they are. And I'm speaking specifically to content marketers, to business owners that are trying to use content as a way to draw in prospects and gain more customers. But I'm talking to people in general, whoever you are watching. This is for whatever goal you have. There's usually a missing ingredient, and I would suggest to you that the thing that's missing in trying to achieve goals is that we don't see something clearly that we need to see. I want to talk about that today. That's the one level. The other level that I want to talk about is I want to talk to you, I want to show you, I should say, a lesson on content creation, how to create content that draws people in, that carries them through to an end and to the final kind of closing conclusion that you want. And so I want you to pay attention to not only just what I'm saying, but how I'm saying it. And that will begin in just a moment. This is just my introductory sort of comments. And what you may need to do, and I'm going to encourage you to do at the end of this video, is to maybe watch this video a second time. And the second time you watch it, don't just watch it listening to what I'm saying, but listen and pay attention to the structure, the underlying way that I'm saying it. Okay? All right, so today what I want to talk to you about is what you need to see in order to achieve your goals. And the story that I'm about to tell you is a story, I can't even remember where I originally came across it, but I've taken it and I've tweaked it and I've molded it and shaped it in a way so that it will have maximum impact and it will be the most engaging and intriguing. And it's kind of some of the lessons that I talked about in previous videos about anticipation and suspense. Pay attention to some of those elements today. So this is the story. It was the morning of July 4th, 1952. In the California coast, it was shrouded in fog that morning. It could have just been a regular July morning taking place on the coast of California if it wasn't for what was happening 21 miles to the west on Catalina Island. You see, there was a 34-year-old woman who was about to attempt what no other woman had ever attempted before. As she waded into the icy water that morning and began swimming towards California, she was determined to be the first woman to ever swim that 21 miles from Catalina to the California coast. And the water that morning, as you can imagine, it was numbing cold. The fog was so thick that she could hardly see the people in her support party that were in the boats alongside of her. And they weren't just there to encourage her to say, keep going, Florence, you can do it. They were there with shotguns to shoot away and scare the sharks that might try to take her life in her Olympic attempt that day. And as the hours ticked away and Florence just kept swimming and swimming, the question on everybody's mind was this: would Florence make it? Would she be the first woman to ever achieve this goal? And let me stop there for a second. Some of you are asking those kind of questions. You have this goal set before you. You've waded into the water to attempt the goal. But the question is, will you make it? And what happened to her is many times what happens to us. There's surprises that come along the way in trying to achieve our goals. And with her, fatigue had never been the issue. She had always trained and trained so that on the day that she was going to attempt her goal, she was ready. She had the stamina to make it. But this morning was full of unexpected surprises. One of those surprises was the bone-chilling temperature of the water. No one expected on a July morning for the water to be that cold. And in fact, after she was swimming for over 15 hours, she was starting to feel like she just couldn't go on any longer. And Her mother and her trainer, who were in the support boat, were, yelling to her, "Florence, keep going, don't give up," because they had a feeling, they just felt like they had to be getting close to shore. She had been at it for so long. But all Florence could see was fog in front of her. And I think for some of us in the goals that we're attempting, if you're trying to attempt to create content to draw in prospects, sometimes all we seem to see from all our effort is fog in front of us. And after just a few more grueling strokes, Florence finally had to be taken out of the water. She was physically just exhausted. She was emotionally just spent. But what they were about to find out would make the whole experiencing even more discouraging than she could have even imagined at that moment. Because you see, just after they pulled her into the boat and headed towards shore, they were stunned to find out that Florence was less than 100 yards from the shore when she gave up. And as she spoke to the reporters later on, they asked her what had happened. She honestly told them, if it had not been for the fog, I would have seen the shore. And if I had seen the shore, I would have made it. What I want to teach you today is we need to see the shore if we're going to ever attempt and accomplish the goals that we have. If you want to use content marketing to draw in prospects, if you want to gain customers, if you want to be effective in that or in any other goal that you have for 2012, you have to see the shore. You have to see what it looks like to achieve what you're hoping to achieve. You have to see what it's going to look like to have inbound marketing taking place, to imagine what it would be like to have prospects coming to you instead of you having to chase after them constantly. You have to think about what it will feel like to be perceived in a whole new way, to be perceived as an expert, someone that's desired instead of somebody that's needy and just another, common whatever person in the category that you work in, that's your field. Seeing the shore makes all the difference. To prove my point, you have to know the rest of Florence's story. 2 months later, she tried again. And guess what? The day she tried for the second time, the fog was just as dense. But she made it. That day, she reached Florida. She went all the way to Florida. Amazing. No, she made it to the California coast. It took her just 13 hours, 47 minutes, and 55 seconds. She not only reached the goal, she broke the 27-year-old record by 2 hours. So what was the difference? I believe it was because she could see the shore this time. She couldn't see it with her physical eyes because it was foggy again, but she could see it in her mind. She remembered what it looked like to get in that boat and to move just forward and to see that shore. She remembered what it felt like to stop just within 100 yards of the shore. And that made all the difference. So today, this is what I would encourage you to do. If you want to learn more about content creation, how to create content that draws people in, I would encourage you to stop this video and play it again. And this time, just listen again, but don't pay attention to the content, what I'm saying. Pay attention to how I'm saying it. Secondly, you can go to my website, recessionsolution.com. You can read other blog posts where I posted unique takes on content marketing and content creation. You can check out my other videos here about content ideas from Charles Dickens, and my last one, content creation formula from J.J. Abrams. So I'd encourage you to do that and subscribe here, and you can subscribe at my website to be updated whenever I create new content. The other thing you can do is you can sign up on my site and sign up for a free preview of my Content Boosters course. You'll get samples of the unique ideas that I'm going to share about how to create content from sources that have all different angles and different fields to show you how content is used to pull people in and draw them in. And whether you actually decide to ever purchase or be a part of the course or not, it won't matter, because you'll get the free samples and you'll get to be able to apply those things and to improve your content just from that. And I would encourage you to begin your self-training with this video, and watch it if you need to a couple times and see what I do. See if you can notice the behind the scenes, the structure, and how I'm using words and content and phrases to pull you through and to keep you engaged. If you could do me a favor again and pass on this video, if you felt it was helpful to you, tweet about it, post it on Google+, email it, call people up on the phone, read them off the whole URL. I don't care. Just please share it. I appreciate those of you who did before. The second video, the views more than doubled from the first video. And I would love to hear what you do with these ideas, how you apply them. I heard from a couple different people on how they just took ideas of what I've already talked about and implemented them into their blogs and their business, and they've already seen results and response. So let me know. Contact me. You can go to recessionsolution.com and hit contact and just let me know. And one last thing, if some of you would like me to explain what I actually did in this video besides the content, if you want me to give a little bit more of an explanation, if you're curious, let me know. If I have enough people that are interested, I'll make another video and kind of explain to you what I did in this video and how I took the content and used it, and what you can learn from it. So anyway, I hope this helped you today. I hope this didn't waste your time, but allowed you to maximize your content and create content that's effective for your prospects that you're trying to help and effective for your business. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks a lot.